to what the circumstance. And because of that, so many women are walking around bruised, scarred, and broken. And so in Unchain Me Mama, the Forgiveness Factor, these ladies are going to show you how they worked their own way through. Lost my words, got so emotional. Worked their way through that process of forgiveness. So without any further ado, let me bring her onto the screen, the amazing Renetta D. Weaver. Welcome, Renetta. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. And can I just say, I love that gold because my morning meditation was all about putting that gold light around me. So I think you're in sync with where I am today.
See, this is how it's supposed to go down.
Yes. Yes.
I receive it 100%. So let's go tell the folks, let them know how we connected initially, because I think that's important. I try to do that on each Meet the Author session, because I want all of you guys watching, whether you've been in an anthology, whether you've considered being in one, to understand that you can meet people anywhere that can be an amazing contributor to your book.
Yeah, so hey everyone, I am Renetta, otherwise known as the Unstuck Queen, and I met the amazing Audra at, I think it was at a Black Therapist Rock conference. I'm pretty sure because I'm trying to think back, and it really seems like I've known you forever. You just have that spirit about you where I'm like, how did we meet? Because I've known you, right? But I believe it was at a Black Therapist Rock conference.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think that was it. And probably 2017, maybe?
Yes.
Right. And so I know all about you and all your fabulousness, but let the people know what you do professionally, like what's your day job, and also why you decided to even be a part of an anthology.
Okay, so in my day job, really, I don't even consider it a job. I just consider it what I was born to do, and I'm lucky enough to get to do it for work. And that is, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and my primary job is with the military, where I'm the clinical director of an addictions program. And then in my part-time private practice, I work with grieving moms who lost their children to homicide. And so I do a group weekly with those people. So really, I just have a passion for being out there in the community and healing the world, really.
Didn't I tell you she was sweet, y'all? So Renetta has such an amazing heart, and I'm so thankful that you're sharing your story in Unchain Me Mama, the Forgiveness Factor. What really was a catalyst to making you want to jump on board and being a part of this project?
So I really wanted to be a part of this project for a lot of reasons. First of all, I've been writing ever since I can remember, but most of you all don't know my writings because they're on the nightstand somewhere in my bedroom, in my journal.
Hold on, can anybody else relate to that? You've been meaning to publish a book. It's been about 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years, and they're all sitting piled up on your nightstand. Anybody can relate. If you can't, put a number 2 in the comments, because we're going to call you out. We love you, but we're going to call you out.
I know I'm not alone, y'all. So yeah, go ahead and put that 2 in the comments. And so I've already written in an anthology before. So when you announced that you were doing another anthology, it was not even a second thought for me, because I already know your work. And I know your legacy around the Unchain Me Mama series. So when you were announcing that you were doing another Unchain Me Mama book, The Forgiveness Factor, I ran and jumped on board. Like, I was like, I get to write with you in an anthology, and I really get to write about mother-daughter relationships and how forgiveness plays a role in that. I was definitely on board with that because that's been my story. That's been my history. I could really relate to that title. So it was easy for me to think about writing about it.
You know, I always say this, guys, and you probably can say it with me. People will talk about daddy issues all day long, but when it comes to talking about mama, folks want to fight you, right? So yes. I applaud the co-authors that take the leap to be a part of Unchain Me Mama, the Forgiveness Factor, because it truly takes courage to share this story, because you're going to get so much feedback from people who are uncomfortable with the topic. So I applaud you all for being willing to share your story. So let's talk about your story. Let's talk about that.
I said it was easy for me to think about writing it, but when I sat down to actually write it, I was paralyzed by the thought of actually talking about my mama, exposing the story of the relationship that we've had. I really, I did not want any of my story to be hurtful to my mom, but let's face it, anytime I'm putting exposure around anything that happened in our household, I'm taking a risk of really, really doing what I didn't set out to do, which was being hurtful. But my story is really about how my mom and I, how our relationship has transformed throughout the years, how a lot of times in the past, there were a lot of misunderstandings with us. I'm trying to tell the story without giving the story away.
Don't give away all the goods.
There was a lot of misunderstandings, and that created resentment on both of our parts. And what happened with that resentment is I found for both of us really is that when we tried to move forward in our adult life with other relationships and with our own relationship, we kept running into challenges of moving forward because there were things playing in the background that we had resentment about. And that's how forgiveness really came into play when it comes to moving forward in our relationship and other relationships. So yeah, I hope that made sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing, guys. Until you address the situation, it's very hard to forgive the situation, right? You can't fix what you won't face.
Yes.
And typically with mother-daughter relationships, most people don't want to face it. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it not only affects that relationship with that mother and daughter, it affects every relationship that mother has and that daughter has.
Yes.
So you really, to have healthy relationships and truly want to thrive in your life, forgiveness is not an option. But not everyone knows how to do that. And so in Unchain Me Mama, the Forgiveness Factor, these ladies will be sharing their process of how they uncovered forgiveness. And how many of y'all know forgiveness has many faces? Somebody put that in the comments. Forgiveness has many faces. In fact, that's tweetable. Who's going to tweet that?
I'm tweeting it right now. Y'all tweet it too.
Right, because forgiveness for me isn't going to look the same for you. And the process that got me there is going to be different for me than it will for you, than it will for you guys watching, right? So it has many faces. And so my hope is that through the story shared in Unchain Me Mama, the Forgiveness Factor, the readers will identify with someone's process, someone's tool, someone's steps will be that missing piece they need to enable forgiveness and make it a huge factor in their life so that healing can truly begin. Mm-hmm. So I am thankful that we have amazing co-authors like you that are willing to do the work, right? So speaking of the work, Renetta, she gets it done. She makes things happen, and I love it. Can you share with the viewers, what do you have on the horizon next?
Oh, wow. So on the horizon, I have so many things coming, so many workshops and speaking engagements out in the community. So you all will, if you don't know me yet, you will know me because my name is going to be out there. You'll see me speaking and traveling around the world, giving a lot of workshops regarding mother-daughter forgiveness and other topics.
I love it. I love it. You are such a jewel and a gem. If the viewers want to stay abreast of what you're doing and show up where you are and support your workshops and all those things that you have upcoming, how will they keep in touch with you?
So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Dr. Renetta. Both of the handles are the same on both platforms.
Dr. Renetta. All right, now let's go. Can you spell that for them to make sure they have your name spelled correctly?
Yes, it's DrRenetta. Dr. Renetta.
Dr. Renetta on Facebook and on Instagram. Make sure you're connecting with this amazing woman. She just brings it with her heart. And just so transparent and loving. But she'll give it to you straight also, which I love that dynamic about her. So don't sleep. Don't let the sweet smile fool you, honey, because she'll get you right, okay? So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Audra Lowray of Church. If you have not joined and become a part of my community, let's get going. Mastering Meaningful Manuscripts, to stay on top of when this amazing anthology will be released. Also, you can join our mailing list at join.meaningfulmanuscripts.com. That's join.meaningfulmanuscripts.com to stay on top of when we drop this amazing anthology later this year. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for another session of #Meet the Author. Love you guys. Bye.